It's 4:40 p.m. here in Seoul. I'm Devin Whiting at the Arirang News Center, and it's time for today's briefing from the South Korean health authorities. We should be getting updates on the latest case numbers, the vaccine campaign, and where and how social distancing will be strengthened outside the greater Seoul area. It's starting now. Let's listen in.
And we will have the Director General of Central Disease Control Headquarters be presenting today, and will be providing sign language translation. First, we will hear from Director General Son Young-rae about the countermeasures against COVID-19. I will start the regular briefing for Sunday, July 18th. First of all, I will update you on the developments for the past week. Over the past week, on a daily average, there were 1,349 newly confirmed cases on an average. Compared to more than 900 from the previous week, it was an increase by around 35%. And for reproduction rate, last week it was at 1.32. So for 3 weeks in a row, we are seeing this number exceeding 1. Across the regions, we are seeing a wave in the metropolitan area, and we are also seeing a clear increase in the non-metropolitan area as well, especially in Jeju, Daejeon, Chungcheong, and Busan and Gyeongnam areas. We are seeing a fast surge, and also we are seeing that the social distancing measure level has to be at more than level 2 for all regions aside from those as well. And starting on Monday, we will be imposing level 3 social distancing measure on Jeju Island starting on Monday, and also level 4 for some other areas. When we look at all of the cases, we are seeing that it is at 80%, so we are seeing a lot of frequent cases coming from our daily life. We are currently operating 159 temporary screening centers, and the screening test number has increased by 33% compared to the previous week. Despite such an increase, we are seeing that positive rate is at 3.9%. So compared to 2.4% from the fourth week of June, we are seeing a continuous increase, which is telling us that virus is prevalent in all areas of our lives. And variant form is also surging as well. When we look at July, it was at 41%, and for the Delta variant, it was at around 30%. So we are seeing this in about 1/3 of our cases. And for the metropolitan area, we are seeing the fourth wave, and we are also seeing an increase in the non-metropolitan area as well. And with the focus on the variant form, we are seeing this fourth wave continuing, especially for the metropolitan area. Infection can happen at any time. Therefore, we want to ask you to decrease contact with people at any time and be able to refrain from visiting places where there could be a lot of people contacting. And we had discussions about the social distancing measure. And for the non-metropolitan area, they are varying social distancing measures depending on the situation. However, we understand that there could be more movements with the holiday season. And therefore, we had discussions about unifying the limit on gathering. And a lot of the local governments has reached a consensus on this. However, we believe that it could be an impact on the businesses of our lay people, and for those, they would have to make the decisions depending on the social distancing measures and the situation in those local areas. Therefore, starting on Monday, July 19th to August 1st, private gatherings will be limited to 4 people in all non-metropolitan areas as well. However, unlike metropolitan area, we're going to allow exceptions for the direct family members. And now I'll update you on the medical support. So there is a troop that is supporting our citizens abroad. However, one person has tested positive. Therefore, we are testing all of the members in the troop. However, we have not gotten results for all. So for the results of 101 people that we'll be getting, actually 33 people tested negative already. We don't have the results for all. However, we have decided to have all of these people return to Korea, and we have actually had the private jet fly there now. Right now, all of the troop members are pretty healthy, and we don't believe that there will be any issues in having them return home. For these troops, they will be returning home at the beginning of next week, and once they come, they will be tested for COVID-19, and they will be monitored at the living treatment centers, and we are making the necessary preparations. We will make sure that our soldiers will return home in a safe manner and as quickly as possible, and we're going to make sure that we have thorough preparation. Details will be presented by the Ministry of Defense. So there was a gathering that had happened with the Korea Federation of the labor unions, and until now there has been 3 confirmed cases. We are looking at the epidemiological research. However, considering the current situation, we believe that there could be additional infection that could be arising from this gathering of the Korean Confederation of Trade Unions. And yesterday, the Prime Minister has asked all relevant citizens to be tested. And also, Central Disaster and Safety Countermeasures Headquarters has asked all participants to be tested regardless of having symptoms or not, and an administrative order was presented as well. For all participants of the gathering of the Korean Confederation of Trade Unions, we ask you to be tested for sure, and details will be presented by additional briefings and also through press release documents. Right now, there are screening centers and the temporary centers that were put in place, and we are continuing to expand testing so that we can have preemptive testing for all of our citizens. And for temporary screening centers, it is difficult to prepare for the heat wave. So the government will make sure to provide fans and also will increase the number of people who will be working there so that we can improve the working environment. And we will also allow better suits to be worn so that it will allow for ventilation, and we will also have flexible working hours so that the workers can take rest as necessary. And please refer to the press release documents for details. For the screening centers and for the temporary screening centers, we want to make sure that the medical personnel and other staff members will be able to work without issues, and we will make sure to strive hard so that we can help them out. And we want to express our gratitude to all of the relevant people who are working there despite the difficult situation. Today, the CDC also reported on the result of the gyms across the nation, and there were many findings that were reported in the media, and therefore the government will be monitoring these sites. For the gyms, we have limited the speed of music, and we have also limited the music speed for the group workouts. And this is related to limiting the heavy workloads and actually replacing it to be more of the light workouts. And for most of the facilities, high strength cardiovascular activities were limited, and also many agree on this, and many have said that it is actually difficult to find a better solution, and therefore Ministry of Culture has decided to maintain the current measure but to continue monitoring the situation in the future as well. Dear citizens, starting tomorrow, there will be a private gathering limitation to 4 people starting tomorrow, even in the non-metropolitan area. And for the metropolitan area, it will be level 4 social distancing measure until this week. And it will be a limited number of people who can gather after 6 p.m. and the limit will be up to 2 people. And despite the dedication of all of the medical personnel, we are seeing the surge of the fourth wave continuing on. This fourth wave could actually be resulting through a silent contamination, and anyone in our society could be a carrier of the silent contamination. Therefore, I myself could be one that could actually be the reason for this contamination. Therefore, we have to be careful ourselves, and we are striving hard. However, in order to make sure that we have an effective contamination curbing, we need the help of our citizens. And we do understand that you are probably tired, but we want to ask you to help us despite the difficult situation. Please refrain from having gatherings, and please also limit the number of people you're meeting, and please refrain from having any travelings or making any trips as well. And also, please avoid any confined spaces that are crowded. And we want to ask you to participate in the social distancing measures as you have done until now, and we want to thank you for all of your efforts. The government will work together with you so that we can resolve this fourth wave as quickly as possible in an efficient manner. Thank you.
네, 지금부터 질의응답 시간을 가지겠습니다.
And that'll conclude our coverage of this briefing. Thank you for watching. Arirang News will be back at 6 p.m. Korea time.